Welcome to the latest This Week's Acca podcast, sponsored by Sky Bet. Acca Freeze, Tom and Jake with you to build our Sunday accumulator. We know it's a busy time of year, so over the festive period, we'll be delivering these shorter form episodes, which deliver you our Acca alongside some little explanations behind each pick. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel to ensure that you never miss an episode. And remember to keep it fun. Never bet more you can afford. This podcast is 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly. Merry Christmas, Jake. Do we still say that post-Christmas? I'm not too sure what the etiquette is. I think we do. I think that's the thing.
Yeah, I think we say Merry Christmas the first time we see each other after Christmas, which this would be.
There we go.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. You and Joe, you went close, didn't you, on Boxing Day? Was it Bournemouth? Just Bournemouth for the 0-0 draw?
I think so, yes. I need to go
The three landed,
back, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it was that. Wimbledon. Did Wimbledon draw with Swindon, maybe?
Yeah, that's right. As well. I think they had a goal disallowed at 89 minutes, which I think is why I think it was just
I've not seen it, but it's a disgraceful decision. So
yeah, absolutely.
Shame.
But either way, we're going to build a winner, aren't we? For the weekend fixtures.
It started off badly. That bounced back, so it wasn't as bad as it could have been. But we're recording this Friday. The next set of fixtures is Sunday. Don't let that catch you out with the Thursday football. They've pushed it all back to Sunday. Loads of games to go at. I quite like the slate. I don't say that often, but I do quite like it this week. Where do you want to start? Where should we go first?
I think we take not a big price, but not a short price either. A nice middling price in the Championship for Swansea at home to Luton. Short explanation really. Luton are absolutely rubbish away from home. They've lost 9 of their 11 league games away from home this season, which is an astonishing record, really. You factor in at this time of year, we like talking travel, don't we, and turnaround and all sorts of stuff like that. Luton have been to Bristol, then back to Luton, then back to Swansea, basically, over the last 3 days. So they've had a lot of travelling to do. Swansea cooked up in their nice comfort of their own homes, so they've not had to do any travelling. And the underlying data paints a very bad picture as well for Luton away from home. They're really struggling. I think they're the 6th or 7th worst based on expected goals this season, and Swansea are the 6th best home team based on underlying data. I think there's only Middlesbrough, Norwich, Sheffield United, Coventry, and obviously Leeds top the charts. So kind of just puts into perspective that they are very, very good. So I'm putting Swansea in there 13-10.
Yeah, I like this a lot. What the hell has gone wrong with Luton? I know we say this all the time. What the hell is going on there? Because this was meant to be built for the Championship and have a real go at promotion. Rob Edwards still there. Nothing's changed. Absolutely nothing has changed in terms of their fortunes.
It's bizarre. I mean, we all said last year when they were signing players in the window that they're building a Championship squad for next year. But the Championship squad they built clearly shit because they are really struggling. It's a strange one, and I think that they are going to stick with Rob Edwards. But if they are to make a charge in the second half of the season, they're going to need to make some really, really good signings, because at the minute they are looking just like a mid-table team.
Okay, then, so we will take Swansea to beat Luton as our first pick for our Sunday accumulator. I'll throw one in. It's a shame that you and Jimmy haven't seen each other since this debate that we had on Leyton Orient that time at Barnsley.
What debate? I don't remember that.
I don't know. All I remember is Jimmy messaged me going, Jake is going to get it. And I don't think you've seen each other since then, which is quite good. But Leyton Orient, this time, they are at home to Cambridge. That game we spoke about before, Barnsley, they won 4-0. They followed that up on Boxing Day with a 3-0 win over Crawley. And it's basically the same conversation that we seemingly had a couple of weeks ago. Leyton Orient in seriously good form at the moment. They're on a run. I think in all competitions of 6 clean sheets now in a row. Phenomenal returns. They are doing incredibly well, really pushing themselves up the table. Playoffs maybe kind of in sight. There's about 6 or 7 points there, so still plenty of time to make up that gap. That's for the long term. For the short term, they take on a Cambridge side who have just struggled all season long, particularly away from home as well. You look across that slate, and I'm just going to quickly check this. I'm sure Cambridge were the worst away team in the division. I still think they are in terms of their returns and how they've done. But at the moment, you're looking through the kind of Sunday card, and for me, this is a game that immediately jumps out. One team in very good form, one team who have been struggling away from home. You're getting around 4-6 on a Leyton Orient win, and to me, that just seems one well worth including.
Yeah, fair play to Jimmy and Gab before him as well. They kind of foreshadowed this Leyton Orient takeoff. They've lost just 2 of the last 10 in the league, and they've been against Wickham and Huddersfield, 2 top 3.
There we go then.
So I think they've drawn twice in that period, 1-6. So they're absolutely flying. Like you said, they're keeping clean sheets for fun, and the goals have clearly come. So yeah, I'm all over this as well.
There we go then. 2 picks so far for our Sunday accumulator. We've got Swansea to beat Luton. We've got Leyton Orient to beat Cambridge. So many games to go at. Where would you like to go next?
I'm going to go for a team that we've not actually included in the Acca a whole lot this season, despite them being clearly the best team in their division, and that's Birmingham. We're getting 1-2 for them to beat Blackpool, and I think that's a massive price. I mean, it's a Birmingham team who are like just streets clear of everyone else. I know that they're only a point clear of Wickham. They have a game in hand, but in terms of the underlying data, they're absolutely flying at the moment. They are going to win the league. I don't think I'm going to, telling people that something they don't know right there. But at home, won 8 of their 10, 26 points collected, just 6 goals conceded, and Blackpool, a weird team. Blackpool, they have shafted us a few times. And generally, when we back against them, they do get a result. But I just can't see it this weekend against the Birmingham team that are keeping so many clean sheets and have such firepower. I mean, you only have to look at the last. They're on an 8-match winning run across all competitions. They've beaten Stockport in that time. They've beaten Barnsley, 2 teams that are probably better than Blackpool. So yeah, I think 1-2 is probably, even though it sounds short, I think that's still a bit of value there.
Yeah, I think so. When you're looking across that Sunday slate, and it is bizarre. Maybe that's what we're going wrong. I know the prices on Birmingham aren't usually great, and maybe that's why we've not included Birmingham that often. But like you say, they are basically the best team in the division, and that comes as no shock to anyone. Yeah. Finding backing against Blackpool, because I will say we did back against them yesterday, and it was okay. Wrexham won, so we're still trusting Birmingham will get the job done despite Blackpool's slight upturn, I think it was, in away form.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll take that as a yes.
Birmingham are just, I think they went off around 1.6 at home to Stockport, so 6-10. And I would say Stockport and a much better team than Blackpool. Much bigger, much better than that price difference between 1-2, 6-10 would indicate. So I do think it's value. And like we said, you've got the travel as well that you have to factor in. Birmingham back-to-back home games over this period. Nice, comfortable win over Burton. Blackpool had to travel to Wrexham. Then they travel back home. They've got to travel to Birmingham. So, in the Premier League, it's okay because, I mean, most places, you might end up flying because you've got the money. You might just fly down, if you're Newcastle, Villa, fly up to Newcastle and fly back, and it's all easy. Whereas these guys are probably taking a coach. Who wants to sit in a couple-hour coach journey, like 4 times over 3 days? Not me, and I'm sure Blackpool players don't either. Not that that's the only reason I'm backing against them. But
they are comfy coaches, these things. They're PlayStations and all sorts. Sounds sure great for a trip to me. It's quite comfortable. Yeah. So we've got Swansea, we've got Leyton Orient, we've got Birmingham there as well. I'm going to chuck in a odds against selection for our final pick of the Sunday accumulator, and that takes us to the Championship, where Watford are backed to beat Cardiff. Cardiff, who have been down in the relegation zone, but away from home, they've been okay. They have been picking up points. Draws have come, but then the caveat is that was against a poor Stoke team. Coventry as well, who just appointed Lampard that weekend, I think, so a new manager there. Sheffield Wednesday, West Brom, who were drawing against everyone. Bristol City, which is some kind of derby, I believe, because there's a bridge or something, which I don't quite get. And Swansea, again, another derby there. So largely games that you're not overly surprised that they picked up points. But for me, it's Watford. I backed them in my own accumulator that was ultimately unsuccessful. Shock. To beat Portsmouth yesterday, which they did do through a late goal and the hilarious scenes that followed of Fortnite dancing, Sunday Leaguers chasing a player to try and beat him up. just pure Sky Bet entertainment. So well done, everyone there. But Watford, their promotion push, whether you think it's sustainable or not, is another question. But their promotion push is basically being underpinned by their home form. Away from home, 2 wins, 2 draws, 7 defeats. At home, only Leeds have got more points in front of their own fans, but Leeds have played a game more. So on a points per game basis, Watford, best home team in the division, absolutely phenomenal. Played 11, won 9, and drawn 2 of those games. Superb in front of their own supporters, beating some decent sides in there as well. They're beating West Brom, Blackburn, Middlesbrough, Sunderland have gone there as well and been beaten. For me, it is one of those that just kind of, when Watford are at home, you just keep backing them at the moment, because this is where basically their entire promotion push is being underpinned on this home form. And even with some draws in there for Cardiff, I think at the price, Watford, well worth inclusion to round off our Sunday accumulator.
Yeah, I'm all over this as well. I think there was a lot of talk, a lot of hype when the Cardiff sacked the manager and they went on that run with the interim, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll just keep him." Actually, that's turned out to be a very bad decision because they have since lost 6 of their 9, and they have lost to some really bad teams among a couple of good teams as well. So yeah, worried for Cardiff. I did pick them at the start of the season to be relegated. They've still obviously got a new manager that they could bring in, which could ultimately see them pull to safety. But I mean, bottom line, they're one of the worst teams in the division, and Watford are the best home team in the division. So yeah, let's get them in. Odds against.
There we go, Dave. There we go. That's our 4 picks for Sunday's action. Then we are taking from the Sky Bet Championship. We've got Swansea to beat Luton. We've got Watford to beat Cardiff, and in his Sky Bet League One, Leyton Orient to beat Cambridge, and Birmingham to beat Blackpool. That fourfold above 10-1, so it'd be just a nice, lovely price to get a winner on those 4 home sides. Remember to keep it fun. Never bet more you can afford. Please gamble responsibly. Head over to sportinglife.com/football. I'm not entirely sure when, but keep checking the website. You'll find the link to back that at enhanced price. And if you haven't already, please follow, rate us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your chosen podcast provider. We will be back Monday, maybe?
Monday?
I think it is Monday for the New Year's Day games.